In this video, I'm going to attempt to answer the question, can I stop my gums from bleeding? And you can let me know if I did a good job or not in the comments below this video. So the first thing we have to talk about is that if your gums are bleeding, you need to go visit a periodontist immediately. The reason why is that bleeding gums can come from a number of different sources, and you need to rule out anything other than what was probably the major source, which would be gum disease. Gum disease is a big problem that affects 75% of people walking around on this planet today. You can ask any dental professional that, and most of them will say about 75% of people have some gum disease right now. But again, you need to go to a periodontist or your dentist and double check and make sure that your bleeding gums are not from something else. But assuming that your gums are from gum disease, there are a number of resources that might be helpful to you. But what's important to understand is that you are not alone. There's a lot of people that live with this problem, that have this problem. And gum disease is, unfortunately, the #1 cause of tooth loss in the world today, by far. Nothing else even compares. For example, you might think accidents, like maybe playing basketball or something like that and getting elbowed in the mouth, would be the #1 cause of gum disease. But actually, that is not the case. The #1 cause of lost teeth, but that is not the case. Gum disease by far is the #1 cause of lost teeth. The sad part about this is that a lot of times people are losing teeth, going to their dentist, getting an implant or a denture, and they never understood why they lost their tooth. They just think maybe they think it's a natural part of the aging process. It's really not. It's generally caused most of the time by gum disease. But again, you visit your periodontist or dentist to rule anything else out. So gum disease is a serious thing that you need to think about, and it's not an aging disease. That's another thing that people think. Oh, of course I'm losing my teeth, I'm getting older. That's not necessarily the case. The problem is the damage builds up over time. As people say, of course my gums are receding, I'm getting older. But no, the damage has built up over time. You could be 6 years old and have gum disease. But I digress. Getting back to our original question, can I stop my gums from bleeding? Assuming that you've already gone to your periodontist or your dentist and they have indeed confirmed that your bleeding gums are nothing more dastardly than actual gum disease, then you can start thinking about what you can do to stop your gums from bleeding. So the first thing you're going to think of is brushing and flossing, right? Because that's what everybody does, brush and floss. And those are certainly important, and I do think you should keep doing both of them. The problem I see with that is that if 75% of the people have gum disease, I don't think it's working for everybody. Because you cannot tell me that 75% of people are not brushing and flossing. I'm sure that's not the case. So what else can you do? Well, there's certain things you can do. For example, chewing xylitol gum, using a oral irrigator. You can do, some people do oil pulling, which I do not recommend. Some people do essential oils. I do not recommend that either. pH balanced oxygenated mouthwash and toothpaste, I do think that's going to be beneficial. Now the problem with all this is, though, whatever you do to try and stop your gums from bleeding, you need a way to measure your success, aside from the gums actually stop bleeding, because gum disease can be present whether your gums are bleeding or not. So what is this? How do you know? Well, you need an objective measure, and that objective measure is periodontal pocket depths. Because when those numbers are a certain range, then you know that your gums are healthy, and when they are beyond that range, you know that they are unhealthy. So the goal is to get them back in that range and keep them there. And when you're able to do that, the disease process has essentially been arrested. And that means that the gum disease, which has been destroying tissue, gum tissue, bone, etc., has been stopped essentially. And that's your real objective way to know whether you're actually made improvement beyond actually seeing your gums stop bleeding. So whatever you do, always check those periodontal pocket depths, keep them within the range they should be for healthy gums. And I'll go ahead and put some resources under this video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye. Remember to subscribe to this channel.